Alright everybody, it is game number 3 between Life and Paralyze. Very action-packed series. We haven't had a good, just macro game yet of any of these players. First game, 9 pool. Second game, cannon rush. Third game, who knows. But it's nice to know that both of these players are willing to do any type of build they think is going to work best for them. Oh. I'm going to have to make myself some coffee. These are exciting replays, but I am tired. Got up nice and early to do this. And played a little bit of ladder. A little TVT. Actually, it was a lot of TVT today, for some reason. Wanted to play Terran because I like trolling other races as Terran. I think it's one of the best races to troll with. Proxies, weird tech choices, things like that. That, you know, they can be fun. They don't just own the game. Protoss, weird plays, either you just die or you just win in the first few minutes and then it's not as much fun. But in Terran versus Terran, it's a little bit more difficult to pull off a lot of those different types of maneuvers. We're going to have a Nexus first again out of a Protoss player. That would be pretty ballsy after we've seen Life perfectly willing to go for early Zergling pressure. He is going for a very fast scout here. If he sees it in time what's happening, a hatch block would be phenomenal. I think he already guessed. No, he doesn't get it down. Now it's going to be a battle. The hatch block was so close. And the hatch block is very worth it, in case people were wondering. He's trying to get that hatch down, but Paralyze is doing a good job of keeping away. Because if that hatch goes down and there's no gateway, you'd have to pull all of your probes to try to kill it. And even then, he could just cancel and run away. So, good job from Paralyze to deny that. Otherwise, he had been a long ways behind. I love doing that, actually, as a Zerg player or a Terran player playing against Protoss. Head across the map. I usually do it with my 9th or 10th worker. Go in the base, check, see if there's a gateway, see if there's anything else. And just throw something down. Just take that base. Sometimes if you see the pylon at the front, that means they want to wall off, build their buildings here. Even if it's a forge, throwing down the hatch, so much fun against, you know, Protoss. And let it finish. That creep takes forever to kill. They expand away from the wall, follow up with a bunch of Zerglings. Sounds crazy, but it works. We actually did have a double hatch first here out of Life in response, which a lot of argue is the correct response when you know that there's going to be this Nexus going down here. Sees the cybernetics, core timing. There is a Zealot on the way. He might send that across the map, see if we can get some pressure in. If you can kill 1 or 2 workers with it, you're doing pretty good. Gas follow up behind this. Sometimes when you get super greedy play out of both players, there's a tendency to want to go and put on pressure. And there's a lot of great 2-base all-ins from Protoss players, so you want to be prepared for such occurrences. I wonder sometimes, and obviously I'll follow what the pros do, but I wonder if getting the pool before the 3rd hatch would matter more to get out the more queens and the more injects. Just because it's hard to saturate 3 bases this fast anyways. But as we see with the timing of doing this, he actually has 3 queens all going pretty much at the same time here. He's going to allow him to do very good. And this is such a risky thing. I've only done this a couple times as an amateur player that I felt comfortable enough to just do this, because unless you've practiced with this, you understand the creep spread, the follow-ups, what kind of attacks are coming. It's so easy to just flat out die. Have, you know, a couple of gateways where the pressure come and destroy your 3rd. Stargate right in the wall. Did the Overlord's already piecing out? These Zerglings should be able to run to the front and see this. Oracle, which is the standard right now if you're going to be opening up with a Stargate, usually going into a Void Ray for a fast 3rd. So the Oracle will be popping out. There's actually a fast Evo chamber started as well. Now, there's the spores. I was about to say, with no spores down, pretty risky. I mean, 1 Oracle will take out 5 or 6 workers if there's just a queen there to defend. If there's spores there to defend, they can maybe get 2 or 3. You almost guarantee to take some damage. Yeah. We'll see if this Oracle can get in here and get anything done. She will catch 1 transferring worker. Smart thing to come through the front there. Gets a second, but then it's already lost all of his shields. He's going to start chilling out. So it is going to be a fast third on this side. Zerg player, I don't think knows about this. No, he doesn't. No, he saw the pylon there, so yeah, he does. Tons of Zerglings on the way. He's going to try and go for another cancel on this. With the Oracle done, however, and the cannon's about to finish up, I don't think he's going to get it done. The Oracle's just so good at dealing with these light units. Just mows. Looks like he's going to try to muscle it, but the Void Ray is out now as well as the Oracle. So once again we see Life throwing away a lot of Zerglings. He killed like a pylon and 2 cannons for all those Zerglings. And a probe. Cancels that one, but I mean, really? Killed mineral army. Just resources lost. Almost 3 times as much, and still more Zerglings here. I don't quite get it. Nothing but Zerglings. +1's about to finish up. But is it really that important? I mean, with all this time, the Zerg player could have teched up to like swarm hosts in a 4th base or something. I think he will finally get it. I don't know, you guys made the decision if you think that was worth it. There is droning happening behind this. If we look at the actual units, 39 workers to 52. So many Void Rays too. I mean, it's just... the Protoss player is doing fine, I think. Like, I mean, yeah, he got that cancel a couple times. If Life didn't get that cancel, he'd be so far behind, it'd be unbelievable. But, because he did, he's only somewhat far behind. Massively joining up now. He's going to be caught up with this next round of workers popping up. But tech-wise, he's just getting his other gases now. Roach Warren, Lair's not even done. He's got +1 Zerglings to his name against a stack of Void Rays. He's actually picking up a handful of workers here and there. Double Stargate and Colossus behind this. The army Paralyze is going to come stomping out with here is going to be ridiculous. Now, yes, there's a Spire on the way, but there's no chance in hell the Life's going to have enough economy to build the air units he needs to fight 3 Stargate. He might be hoping the Paralyze stays on 1 Stargate. He's supply blocked pretty heavily as well. But I don't think they have thermal lance yet, do they? I don't think so. No. But with the amount of I like that Oracle. Might as well be useful for something. With the amount of Stargates, even if he got out 15 mutas and that popped, he might be able to take on the Void Rays wherever they are. There they are. I was about to say, yeah, they're probably across the map doing Void Ray things. Does kill the Spore Crawler. It's actually okay to just get some workers here too. Like, I mean, what do you do against this? He's got some queens, but there's a recall perfectly ready to use. Yeah, he's just going to use it now as hull damage starts happening. Killed a spawning pool. Killed a bunch of workers. 17 mutas on the way. But there's still more Void Rays. Now, Void Rays obviously aren't great against the mutas. And if Life gets lucky, he might catch this chunk of units out on the map. If Paralyze knew there was that like mutas on the way, he'd already have his fleet bacon down and have Phoenixes out. Now he's coming home. He's building cannons, so he must have seen. Yeah, he saw the mutas out with his Oracle. Cannons are on the way. Stalkers warped in. +1's about to finish up. Sniping a Colossus is pretty nice. Now, there's going to be tons of Phoenixes being made. I'm be very surprised if a Fleet Bacon doesn't go down soon. Some cannons kicking around just in case. I like doing this as well. It sucks being caught in the wrong spot. At least cannons buy you some time. Pretty good Phoenix micro. But he needs that Phoenix range. +1 on the way. Now we see the Corruptors. But with the Void Ray count and the Phoenix count, things are alright. The good thing for Life is this did buy him time. The protoss player not moving out right away. He's going up to his 5th base. It's already done. Getting saturated. More gases. There's your Fleet Beacon. More Phoenixes. He's actually going to be, I think, in a pretty... Life could be in an okay spot out of this. Like, he is not... If he loses all of these mutas cheap, he's going to be pretty unhappy about it. It's really all he's got going for him right now. And he kind of, as a Zerg player, when you start committing to heavy air like this, you kind of have to win with air. Like, it's very hard to transition into, like, Roach Hydra behind this because Void Ray Colossus will mop that up. It's pretty hard to transition into... Swarm hosts after this because there's already Colossus on the map, and if you can control the air, the Phoenixes will just destroy them. You can go into Greater Spire, but once again, you have to be able to dominate in the air. You can go into Ultralisk and Infestor as a possibility to kill the ground army. That Infestor tech, pretty important. Range, more than halfway done already. Once that's done, it's going to be pretty effective. I'm surprised the Protoss player hasn't tried for a 4th. Now, he can just push in and go for a win here. Oh, Zealot's being a little bit of a jerk. One Phoenix does not want to fight these. Surprised +2 air hasn't started up for these Phoenixes. Oh no, bad rally. Good thing about Phoenix is you can't really move command them. Life actually might be able to take a pretty good engagement here. I'm a little surprised by Paralyze here. Like, I don't see what his next stage plan really is. These Zealot attacks are great because there's no ground army for his opponent. But we don't see a 4th base on the way. Maybe Storm Tech would be pretty nice here. Void Ray's kind of caught out here. Now, a lot of these mutas went down doing that, but they killed off a lot of the Void Rays. And the Void Ray is what you need to deal with the Corruptors. Both these players taking a lot of losses. +1 versus 1-1. Where are these guys going? I think what he wanted to do is move out with the Stalkers. Does he have Blink yet? No, he doesn't. Blink would be pretty useful to use right now. Does get that Nexus down at least. These Zealot run-bys are actually working out pretty good right now for Paralyze. Just doing enough distracting. Keeping those mutas at home because there's no ground army to deal with this. With all the bank, well, it's not a lot of bank, but with some of the bank that Life has, I'm surprised some spines and a spore. DTs would probably work really good right now. She would love to see a DT follow-up. Loses 2 Phoenixes, and I don't think he even got a single Corruptor for that. These Zealots are 1-1 versus, I think the ground army is just +1, so they're getting mowed by all these Zealots. But I still don't like Paralyze's position here. He's still making a lot of Phoenixes. Yeah, you need the Phoenixes to deal with the overwhelming mutas, but you need something else in there. Like Storm Tech would be nice to drop on these. Some Archons. That's why I think a Dark Shrine would be great. Throw down a Dark Shrine, start hitting up some of these bases. DTs. 2 or 3 DTs can just carve through a hatch pretty fast. +2 attack, most of the way done now. These Phoenixes are the lifeblood from Paralyze. He's invested so much into them. But he's losing them here and there to these Corruptors. Yes, they have a greater range. But you see just great pot shots. Every pot shot takes out like at least one Phoenix. So many Corruptors in the air right now. And yeah, without Archon Splash, at least, or some Storms, I just don't think that Paralyze can deal with this. Phoenixes are great, but it's just not going to win everything. And maybe that's what he was hoping. Or hoping to have a good engagement like this on top of the cannons. Still no blink for these Stalkers. He is going to lose this Nexus. He's harassing at the same time. He's got Zealots in all the bases, so their economy is fairly even for the time being. Colossus didn't even need to be out there. I don't know why he microdosed into the battle. Corruptors are almost all dead here. Maybe this was the fight that Paralyze really needed to take. There are Hydras on the ground now, so they will drive this back, but there's so many Phoenixes, they can pick up the Hydras. They lost the hatch on that side. Has to do long distance mining now. Both these guys are pretty low econ. This base is going to get up and going here. But now there's no money left for Paralyze for Zealot hits. Maybe coming in here and picking up some workers wouldn't be too bad. Hydras only have +1, 2 +2 attack for all of his units, plus range on the way. It'll be very important for those Hydras. There's still 70 probes for our Protoss player, but it looks like Life's kind of going to go all in here. He knows that his opponent doesn't have another base down. He's going to hope these Hydras can last. He threw away his Colossus, Paralyze did, so needlessly. He's only got one left now. Thought he might try to take an engagement on this base. I don't know if he needs to. Maybe he could just go home, macro up again. He's got his Hive on the way. Oh, he lost so many of his mutas there. How many mutas is he down to? 5 mutas. Not enough to really be effective at anything anymore. Oh, great pickup. He didn't get pathogen glands. That would have been his moment if he could have got the big fungal off. Great Zergling attack here. Base is definitely going to get cancelled. Looks like he actually lost a chunk of probes. Workers killed. Phoenixes are just going to escape out of there. See the Zerglings coming back. Now, Life is going to be banking on these fungals here. He's only got the 3. He's actually banking up a little bit of money as well. So I think he's just going to hope to just nail down these Phoenixes. Behind this, now we see the High Templars on the way. That's not what I wanted to click on. There's no Storm, but at least he can make the Archons. Archons are great against, well, everything but the Hydras, I'll say. Still has the Zealot there in hold position, very smart. Is there no Spore in the base? There isn't. We'll get out of there before it's too late. These Hydras actually probably could just get picked up. Vipers. Now that is an interesting call. You can pull the Colossus out now. There's up to 4. But with the Phoenixes, Vipers are going to have a tough time getting on top of the army to get the Abducts. 4th base is done. Life knows he needs to deny that. He's got himself a pretty good army. Like he managed to macro up a pretty good amount of units here. He's going to need a good time warp. Phoenixes really want to be able to shut that down. He's going to pull off a few units here. Guardian Shield, Time Warp, great feedbacks. That was it. There was so much need for those Vipers to work out. That's going to be it for life. Phoenixes, mostly all left over. A few Roaches were late to the party. They don't even have speed yet. And there's the GG. Oh, that all came down to that. I don't know if Life had to do it, but if he could have denied that fourth base, he probably would have won. Great series. Paralyze takes it in the end. SeKo Starcraft. Thanks everybody for watching. Have some more pro games for you guys real soon.